Hi everyone, I'm Vixey and welcome back to my art channel. Last episode we were continuing with the abstract symbolism portrait. If you have any guesses as to who the streamer or content creator is, please pop that in the comments below. And we are going to start putting in blue as I promised last time. Again, I have a lovely range of blues here. And if we were live, I could just ask and get you all to vote which blue you would prefer, which I still can't do. So please like, share, subscribe, because if I do get enough subscribers and regular viewers, then I can enable the live features. So, and we can look forward to doing things together. So here we are. I'm going to use one of these blues. I'm going to use one of the brighter blues, I think. Maybe even go with the really light ones, maybe. Actually, we'll go with this one right on the end here. So this is a nice, fairly bright one. We'll use a nice wet brush. I like to use wet brushes because they will definitely stick better to the canvas. Dry brushing, you'll start getting the texture of the canvas coming through pretty boldly. And we're going to actually put a fairly thick layer in here. What I might do actually is I'm going to go in with this nice thick blue, and then I'm going to go over that with the lighter blue, so we start getting more layers of blue. And as I mentioned in previous episodes, blue is the #1 favorite color in the world across many different cultures. It is often perceived as a lucky color. I think a lot of people kind of associate it with the sky. And this is going to be a chunk of sky, so that's quite good symbolism happening there. This is a very strong blue. You can see that's quite a bold stroke of blue all of a sudden in the middle of the piece. It's going to be quite a strong statement there. Might be a little tricky to really blend that in, but we'll see how we go. Again, really getting into the edges right over there. Always getting over the edges. I think it's more of a complete look. I think it gives it more dimension, and I think that it's a lot less jarring than like when you look at it and it just sort of suddenly goes white. So, which, I mean, you might not notice if you properly frame these, but I just like to have that really go up to the edges there. But it is an aesthetic choice. It's totally, if you like it. See, now I'm just going to go over here with a little more of the drier brushing. That actually, as you can see, really blends it, because you do get a fair bit of the other color showing through. And I'll just get really wet in here, because that will really take out a lot of that white canvas showing through. brush for this. I did show on a previous episode that like the rounder brushes and the flatter brushes will give you totally different brush strokes. So this, I'm going to get more of a, I'm actually going to do a more swirly kind of motion here to really blend in this green and blue with a bit more of a interesting texture instead of a side to side stroke. So this is just one of the many ways you can kind of, I guess, shape your strokes. So you can do like a swirly motion. In one of my other pieces, I did like a lot of triangles, so I just sort of built up the colors in triangle shapes. So yeah, you can totally work with some of the geometrics. And this again this is just my method. This is my abstract symbolism method that I kind of like the symbology of the geometric shapes. And it's very important to understand the symbols that you put into your works, because we as humans, we see symbols and we associate like a lot of subtle inferences. A lot of subtle inferences that are very subconscious, which is why things like runes and stuff, they on a very psychological level have a deep effect on people in general. Like, of course there will be people that are just like, oh, but they're kind of, I guess, immune to it in a way that they either through being completely conscious of how the process and the thought process is, or because maybe they haven't had quite the same experiences as other people with these things. Particularly recently, the I'm going to say swastika because it's not specifically, I'm about to go on a bit of a rant about how it's not specifically associated with the one thing that everyone's associating it with now. And it has become illegal in my part of the world, which I think is a very good thing. However, because of my heritage, where the symbol has origins, I'm actually quite sad about it as well, because we lose a fair bit of our culture and meaning from that symbol that we previously had. However, the thing is, right, when the symbol was stolen from us, it was flipped, so it was mirrored, and it was turned on its off-kilter side. So it previously was a symbol of love and hope and protection. And so when people saw this symbol, they would feel a peace, they would feel hope, they would feel protected. It would make them feel safe. And it was very often built into the walls of temples and things to like protect. Now, the thing about symbols is, if you reverse them, it flips the meaning as well. So having it stolen and it being flipped turned it from a symbol of love and peace and protection to hate and war and destruction. And that's why it is now synonymous with that, that people see it, and they will just assume straight away, even if it is like in the more peaceful orientation, they will just assume that it's to do with the hate and the anger, which is really sad. But it is a very good thing moving forward that they have banned the use of it, and that people are discouraged from using it, and because we are all here sharing the same planet, so we should try to get along with each other, and if it is causing people pain and hurt and harm, then it's something that we should avoid doing. I believe that people really do think that they want to be good, like that. So, you know, good where it suddenly kind of gets lost on the way, I guess, is that some people think that things are good when they're not. And they make a poor decision. And I guess we should have compassion that people might be misled or make a poor judgment. And I believe that basically everybody's mission in life is to just try to choose the best good that they can. That is good for them, that is good for their family and the people around them. I'm actually really liking how this swirliness is coming across here. So you see how that is a much more blended textured line than these straight back and forths. I am going to go over these straight back and forths with the metallics and some of the iridescence, try to bring out those. And I am actually going to go over with a few of the actual colors as well to like really blend it out and make some nice little, I guess, sort of cloudish lines across. Really getting the color in there. So it is kind of taking over a lot of the green though, which I kind of want like a sweeping hillside to be forming. I might go in with like a much darker, bolder green. We're going to go in with some brushes that already have a fair bit of green on them. Again, these ones that I was trying to clean because I left a fair bit of green on them. This paint needs to be mixed. It's just gotten a little separated. Yes, over time, sometimes if you leave acrylics for a fair bit of time, the pigment starts dropping out of the medium, and easiest way to fix that is to just give the pot a little bit of a swirl to really just mix that out. Now, again, I'm going to go with a different kind of stroke. I'm going to go in with a kind of, because I kind of want this like grassy effect, so I'm going to go in with like some very vertical-ish strokes. With the thin side vertical. See the camera pick it up? Yep. So just going in like this to get some like vertical grassy strokes. And I'm gonna use a few different types of greens so we really get like a lot of different kinds of textures in there. And again, right over onto the edge. Really want to get in there. I think we'll get a fair chunk in here. We'll get right down to here. I'm gonna go dark, and we're gonna go dark and then go lighter, 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 lighter. Go right in there. And again, if we could go live, I could get some feedback from what you all think about things. So, like, even if you, like, disagree with me and stuff, I'd like to hear that, you know? I'd like this to be a place of discussion and thoughts and things like that. Because, as Paulo Freire addressed in The Pedagogy of the Oppressed, learning happens in discourse, which is a very fancy way of saying that we gain understanding and enlightenment from actually talking about things, which, as I have addressed in the previous episode about the elephant in the room, the elephant epiphany, is that sometimes it just becomes overwhelming because nobody talks about the thing and it just gets built up and built up and built up. But if we start sort of chipping away at that in tiny little bites and sound bites and like just verbally addressing things, then, you know, we can strip away some of that stigmatism and that kind of like just built up tension about it, and we can start healing and getting to the roots of these things and just having more understanding towards each other. I'm really liking how this is going so far. I really do want to cover every single part of the white canvas coming through though. So I really am going to just keep building and building and building on it. But I definitely love this texture that's happening with these strokes. This actually starts to feel a lot like grass. Which I've heard the phrase touch grass a lot on the internet lately, and me being quite a naive person, I literally think that's like going out to your backyard or lawn and just going if it means something more than that in some way, which it possibly does, I'm like, you know, good for you. I've actually completely steered away from any types of grass, mostly because I have allergies. There's like, there's several varieties of different types of grass in the world, right? And usually usually when they test your allergies, they test for 4 of them. I got a full allergy test, and the six different types, I came back as allergic to all of them. So I do not have the best experience of green things. But you know, always do what works for you. And all I can do is really say that I do encourage people making good choices, right? So choosing good and choosing to do good, what's good for them, what's good for their friends and their family. And if you think that that does good, then I mean, I would say always try to do your due diligence and your research and all that, right? But if you think that's good, that's good for you. But it certainly was not good for me. I will be in some awful sneezing, rash kind of fit. I am very much an indoor cat. I do like being indoors. I am really loving how this is turning out though. Like this is probably the safest form of grass I'll ever have. I'm just going in here with this very thin light brush here. I'm just going and making like some extra little strokes. I definitely will be using this technique when I do more painting on my cat project. This is actually turning out much better than I even imagined it would. Sometimes life is full of happy little accidents like that. As some of you may know of Bob Ross, which he was also an artist who was showing people how to paint on his videos, who is like a great inspiration of mine, which, I mean, I sadly only really discovered him like fairly recently. Like I was not even aware of him all those years ago when he started. But it was actually a Deadpool commercial that I discovered him. And I absolutely love Deadpool. Shout out to Ryan Reynolds, who I absolutely adore. I have sent Ryan Reynolds many a fan mail, and I did, when I was much younger, get a response from him, which was absolutely amazing. So yeah, I'm a huge fan of Ryan Reynolds. Absolutely loved him ever since Two Guys, a Girl, and a Pizza Place. It was one of my favorite TV shows growing up. Yeah. Ooh, we're getting past the 20-minute mark again. So I am just going to bid you farewell, good luck, and I hope to see you in the next video. Okay, look.